I have my own light. Boom. I didn't expect that to be so simple. I mean, I took hits because that guy was slow. You pretty much, you can, like, run with the gun. It's not like tank controls. But I think in first-person view, you're pretty much restricted. But it's probably easier to aim with that than use the standard aim. You know, because you can then score headshots. So I don't know why this guy, well, for story purposes, but really, you wouldn't know why this guy locked him in there.
Who goes there?
And didn't inform Ocelot of him going in there either.
Oh, Shalashaska. Why are you here? We thought you were with the Colonel.
Heel turn, bitch. Of course, Ocelot's. Well, no, well, I wouldn't say Ocelot's always been the bad guy. Probably more the anti-hero, really. Of course, he does become Liquid later.
The Colonel will
But then-
be joining you soon.
But then we're really, at that point, we're really, oh, he already is Liquid now, isn't he? Well, he's got a Liquid Zarb anyway, he becomes Liquid later. But then we get into the really confusing part of the story.
It's taking longer than I expected. We've already passed the Verrazano Bridge.
All right, we'll use another recovery point.
They may be planning to change course.
What?
The exits to the deck are all sealed.
What are they planning?
If they get Metal Gear, we're going right off the fringe.
You're all familiar with the Shadow Moses.
The men down here are definitely Marines.
The current state of nuclear.
If the deck is sealed off, they have no way of knowing that the ship's been taken over.
I'm not interested in fighting these guys. The weapons won't do me much good here.
Can you see Metal Gear?
No, I'll have to go around to the bow. They have some serious defenses here. I doubt the recent arrivals want to blast their way through the Marines either.
Yeah,
Wonder where they're headed.
I don't know. Not the beach, that's for sure.
and they're like, the Marines are probably like extremely highly
Okay,
trained.
Snake, let's go over this one.
So
more
they
time.
probably wouldn't want to even do
Use
that.
this camera to get photographic evidence of the Metal Gear prototype. Now do your thing and take pictures that speak louder than the government's plausible denials.
Man,
We need 4
that
shots.
battle
Metal
you can
Gear
have
from the
with
front,
Metal Gear Ray
front
is
right,
in the Metal
and
Gear
front
Rex,
left,
in
and
MGS4.
close-up
Oh
of the
my god,
Marine
that battle
Corps
was so
line.
awesome.
Marking.
There should be a Marine's insignia on the body of Metal Gear. Just let someone try explaining away a clear shot of that.
All right.
There's actually one little thing.
Just spit it out. I'm used to things going wrong.
It looks like someone's monitoring our transmission.
Who?
I don't have a clue.
I think
All
I
the team
do.
is watching. It would creep me out less if they tried to interfere with our communications.
Could it have something to do with that cipher we saw?
Maybe. I've switched the encryption protocol for our burst transmission for now. What I want to do is use a different method for sending these photos, just in case.
Instead of using the codec?
It's a good idea.
Exactly. There's a workstation in the southeast corner of the block where Metal Gear is housed. I've made arrangements so that you can send the pictures from the machine.
Arrangements?
I hitched a ride on Link 16 into U.S. military's proprietary network. Managed to get into that workstation and overwrote a part of the system software so I could remote install a little app I wrote.
Why bother with anything that complicated?
No, it's pretty
Because
simple.
Otacon
really.
can do it.
Look, all you have to do is stand in front of the machine and push the action button. The app will automatically launch and download the image data from the camera, split the files, and encrypt them individually. The data packets can then masquerade as...
Okay.
So all I have to do is push the action button in front of the computer once I have the pictures, right?
Well, sure, if you put it that way.
I mean, yeah.
And one more thing. The Commandant's already begun his speech, but you need to get the pictures before he's done talking. Otherwise, they'll spot you, okay?
How much time do I have?
I hacked into his personal files and took a look at the text of that speech. I'd say you have 7 more minutes. Longer if he throws in a joke or two.
A 7-minute time limit, huh?
Remember, Snake, just the photos, okay?
With these kinds of odds, I won't be making any sudden moves. But that doesn't mean we can just let Metal Gear be hijacked.
Okay, but first the photos.
All right, we'll deal with the rest when we get there.
Stay low.
Yeah, because even if they do
At the moment, every
hijack
industrialized nation
Ray,
in the
then
world
the
knows
photos could probably help.
specifications for Metal Gear. Worse yet,
I think.
so do a number of rogue states.
It's funny how he mentions rogue states, like there's an American Civil War going on or
The
something.
US's nuclear strike capability. The world is about to see a swarm of these Metal Gear derivatives. We initiated development
Right.
of Metal Gear Ray as a countermeasure to these pirated weapons forces.
You.
The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another Metal Gear.
Ooh, that guy was very inconveniently placed.
With Ray,
Can we?
hundreds, if not thousands, of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat. The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be
Probably
contained,
gonna be
and it will be the Marine
horrible,
Corps
isn't
and
it?
our Ray that will accomplish this.
Nope, we did it.
This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray.
Yep. Booyah. Gets a little tricky.
The shift in the balance of power will mean
Now,
a new
I
world order.
think we go this way.
We, the Marine Corps, will play a central role in its military.
I did just go, kind of go straight over there, but actually, I think that might work.
Some say that the strategic
Can't really remember, to be
importance of
honest.
aircraft carriers will be reduced by the completion of Ray. The opposition from the Navy is an undeniable fact. There is a lot of pressure from Navy brass, especially those with submarine and air background.
We're gonna wait to.
Not to mention interference from a major player. But this project is vital to the Marine Corps. The enemy is sometimes closer to home than you
Try
think.
running.
Always bear that in mind. Ours is not the only military project.
Ooh. I was kind of, I didn't want to run there, but he did a run just before we reached that point, so I was kind of worried there for a moment.
The current state of nuclear proliferation is a direct result of that event.
Booyah.
Metal Gear.
It is a fact that players in favor of such a policy are attempting to derail our own Ray project. But I
Yeah.
promise you that they will not succeed.
So I always wondered how this works. God, I hope he doesn't do a fucking.
Let's do a little stretching, shall we?
Oh no!
Right.
Ooh. Oh
Down.
shit, that guy's looking right at. There's one guy looking right at me.
Right. Front.
Can we take the picture from here? No, not really. It's not really a good shot, is it?
Getting back to the topic at hand.
Holy crap, that was scary.
I have a
That doesn't.
daughter.
That
It
doesn't
is my
usually
greatest
happen.
wish never to have her or her children experience the horror of nuclear war. As a father, I want to leave a better world for the future generation. As a soldier, I know that is my duty.
Is there a guy like? There's a guy
Metal
here.
Gear Ray is amphibious. Unlike the Army's Rex, it can cruise deep underwater, move in undetected, and make its landing on any shoreline. Its onboard Joint Tactical Information Distribution System identifies targets with unerring accuracy and takes them out with massive firepower. It is the ultimate weapon, and it is yours to guard. I'd like you all to think about what that means. This new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray, after the great Manta Ray. Our ray has a sting that nature never gave the Manta. With this latest Metal Gear, we can rule the sea and land as we never have before.
There we go. Hopefully they should be good. Loading MGX. That's kind of funny. So because I used a bunch of passwords. Didn't lock out. Like, no, it's cool. Continue using this computer. We're not gonna lock you out.
So, any codec moments from you, Snake? The first image is... Okay, this works. It's a great front view. The next one's... You're a pretty good photographer. We can definitely use this left shot.
I mean, you kind of get a bit blocked by the railing up there.
The next one's... This is great. The Marines lettering shows up really well. Okay, last one's coming up. Okay, that's good. The shot from the right is in the bag.
Booyah.
Okay, now we have all the photos. Snake, the speech is about to wind up. Forget the photos and get out of there now.
I don't know how he would honestly get out of there so soon.
We, the Marines, will lead the charge into a new world order with Metal Gear Ray. That is all. Dismissed.
Hoorah. Done. That's it. Yep, controversially, Snake's part is a little over an hour. That really annoyed a lot of people. I can kind of understand why.
Excellent speech, my friend.
Who the...
Gift of the silver tongue. They say it's the mark of a good officer. And of a liar. Americans are too in love with the sound of their own voice to speak the truth.
No.
Identify yourself.
It's a round hit. But do not shoot. Even though we have the 10, 20, 30 man advantage on him.
Also called Revolver Ocelot.
Well, shit. So, I don't think you get that achievement on the Xbox version. I think some of the trophies, like, and achievements work differently depending on the console.
What do you
I
want?
think.
This machine will be quite useful.
What are you planning to do? Steal this thing?
Steal? No, I'm taking it back.
That makes sense because he said, like, at the beginning they said the technical specs were sold on the black market, so he actually did that first. So now that taking it back thing makes sense. Please do as I say. Do not move.
Gerlukovich.
They still had the opportunity to fire, but
Nobody move. Understood.
no story. I mean, you can understand why they won't shoot. No one wants to shoot their commander up there.
This ship now carries enough Simtex on its key structural points to blow it out of the water at the touch of this button.
Even the lip syncing for an early PlayStation 2 title
That's right.
is really good.
No one has to die needlessly.
Here comes the team of fucking Power Rangers. You know, you know. Love it.
Almost at the target. Get a move on.
Man, I'll tell you what. The jump from the PS1 to the 2 was such a jump that every jump since has been sort of
What do you intend to do with
pale in
Sell it on
comparison.
the
I think the
streets.
2 to 3 was actually a
I was
big
raised
jump.
in Snezhinsk, formerly known as Chelyabinsk 7.
And I think
a
3 to
nuclear
4 was
research
quite
outpost.
substantial, but 4 to 5
What are you
definitely
talking about?
not.
After the Cold War ended, my home was bought out by the Americans.
Is there a point to this sad story?
Now, you will understand. Land, friends, dignity, all sold to the highest bidder, the United States of America. Even the technology that gave birth to these weapons is Russian, developed by
And we know
us.
that because of Metal Gear
What
Solid
do
3.
you intend to do?
So that actually checks out.
Russia will rise again. And Ray is the key.
I regret to inform you that I have no intention of selling Metal Gear. As I said, I came to take it back.
We've been duped? Fuck.
Yes, returned to the Patriots.
The Lale Lule Lo? How's that possible?
Ocelot, have you sold us out?
I was never in your employ, Gurlukovich.
Are you still in league with Solidus?
I'm trying to remember if I hear that the ones that say Lule Lule Lo are actually
Russia can
blocked
rot for all I
from
care.
saying the Patriots due to the
when,
nanomachines.
Ocelot? When did you turn?
I
I'm glad
think.
you noticed, comrade.
I could be wrong about that
I
though.
abandoned her during the Cold War.
We were there.
Metal Gear only has room for one. Gurlukovich, you and your daughter will die here.
Damn you!
Screw this nerd. I'm gonna deal with this guy now. No. Did you forget who I am? I'm Revolver Ocelot. I eat you chumps for breakfast. You forgot he was fighting.
Sergei, looks like you were long overdue for retirement.
Traitorous dog. Damn. The Rays just don't care. They just sit there. Like, guys, your commander's been shot. Shoot the dude. What's that guy doing? You see that guy moving position? Shoot him! I mean, it wouldn't matter because he obviously has the bullet protection thing, so it probably wouldn't matter if they did.
Show's over. If you wish to live,
Everyone
I
just
suggest you
stands
run
there.
now. This ship is still in the
Oh.
lower New York harbor.
Do you know
may
what?
yet make it to shore if you swim for your life.
I've just realized they wouldn't shoot him because of the Semtex button. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. I don't know why. When he lifted that, I was like, oh, okay, that popped into my head. Fuck. Control was vibrating. Don't let him get away. I always found that really funny. It's like, no one's getting away. You guys have to run. Screw that. Freeze. Not again. Well, shit.
It's been a while, brother.
Once again, Liquid is alive to give our hero shit.
You know who I am.
Liquid?
Charlie's
Not so
review of the
young
first game, if you know,
anymore,
you know.
Snake.
You're drowning in time. I know what it's like, brother. No wonder Naomi passed you over for the Fox Die program. Ouch! Get out of my mind, Liquid! The price of physical prodigy. Few more years and you'll be another dead clone of the old man. Our raw materials are vintage, brother. Big Boss was in his late 50s when they created his copies.
Pretty much.
But I live on through this arm.
It all kind of makes sense when you actually remember the fact that, you know, Liquid and Solidus as well, they were all kind of had all their genetics altered, DNA altered, and stuff like that. It all kind of makes sense how it all is. That's the most simple term of it I could probably give. It's a lot more of a complicated story than that. You gotta play the games to figure out the full context, and even when you beat them for the first time, it's like, I think I'm gonna play it again because I still don't kind of get this fact or this fact. You have to play these games maybe 2 or 3 times to finally fully get it. Because it's such a convoluted, well, it's not convoluted in a bad way. It's just like, oh my god, it's just such a unusual story. If that's the better way to put it. I don't mean convoluted isn't bad, but it's something you really just won't even get on your first go. It will take a 2 or 3 to fully understand the full concept. Probably even more.
You don't have what it takes after all! You're going down, Snake, with this tanker!
It's like the first game all over again, except we're not actually fighting anything this time. You guys are instant win. I really doubt this would happen, but I would love one of the Master Collection volumes to have Twin Snakes. I would love to play that game again. Because it really does play like Metal Gear Solid 2, and like I said, 2 is probably my favorite gameplay-wise. That tickle. That's cute. Now eat this. Damn. Yeah. Laser. The kind of shouting of names in this game kind of, I wouldn't say scares me, but it's like something I would say it's spooked, but there is kind of... I think, looking back on it now, I do think that that's something else to do with me, rather than being generally frightened of it or something. I think there was something else. There's something else that kind of did that.
Proceeding as planned, sir.
Oh, he's doing backflip. See,
At the location we discussed. Yes.
even on my first
I have
playthrough, I
photographic
kind of
evidence
saw
Snake on the
Snake
scene.
back there,
The
but
cipher was most useful.
back then I kind
I look
of
forward to
thought what was
tomorrow
actually
morning's
he was believed to be
newsflash.
dead.
I would say the Marine Corps' plans are on indefinite.
So looking back on it now, you probably
Yes,
think, no,
of
of course not.
Mr. President.
Of course he's not there. He's Solid Snake. Damn. Triple safe. Booyah. And yeah, that's the first part done. That was a real big criticism of the game. Like, Snake's part was too short.
Tanker 2 years ago.
Of course.
Terrorists blow a hole in an oil tanker full of crude barely 20 miles off the shore of Manhattan. Your classic nightmare. It didn't take long for the government to put an oil fence around the whole mess. And then that massive offshore cleanup facility went up inside.
The Big Shell. I hear the cleanup isn't quite over yet.
It takes time. But in the meantime, the shell's become a landmark, a symbol of environmental protection.
Teams Alpha and Bravo. Deploy at the Big Shell as scheduled.
Approximately 6 hours ago, the Big Shell was seized by an armed group.
Do we have an ID?
Former members of the Navy SEAL Special Anti-Terrorist Training Squad Dead Cell. Russian private army members may also be involved. It's a highly trained group, and they have the Big Shell under complete control.
Come in from downwind and pull up fast. Get ready to fast rope down to Shell 1. 5 minutes to ETA. Also, your top priority is to rescue and safeguard the president. Team Bravo, watch out for Stillman's back and get those C4s disarmed.
What are their demands?
$30 billion.
$30 billion. What makes them think they can get that much?
There was a government-sponsored tour going on at the Big Shell that day.
Hostages, huh?
A VIP from one of the major conservation groups, and one from our own government. The most important person in a sense.
The most important person?
James Johnson.
The president?
Once the demands are met, the terrorists intend to blow the Big Shell out of the water.
And the crude will ignite, turning the Manhattan Harbor into an inferno.
That's not the worst-case scenario. If the chlorides being used to decontaminate the seawater go up with the oil, toxins containing catastrophic levels of dioxins will be released. In other words, the bay's ecosystem will be wiped out, and the sea will turn into a toxic soup for centuries, becoming the worst environmental disaster in history.
Literally, it's Metal Gear, if it feels like it's mirroring Metal Gear Solid 1, that's because it is.
Contamination facility Big Shell.
That'll become clear later.
President and other hostages. And 2, disarm the terrorists by any means necessary.
But yeah, if it is looking very familiar to you, there's a reason for that. It's because it actually is supposed to be that way.
You should know that SEAL Team 10 is also conducting a rescue operation.
Though I think that there is subtle differences. Like the SEAL teams in this one.
No. Foxhound remains a covert body, Don't alert them to your presence. That is an order.